So I'd like to read a story today called Wiggling Worms at Work. And it's just a really great story about worms and what they do for our gardens and for farms and for my yard and my flowers. And then afterwards, we're going to go out and we're going to see if we can find some worms. And maybe you guys can too. So wiggling worms at work. Down in the ground. Look at all those worms. Down in the ground under your feet, thousands of worms wiggle around flower bulbs and tunnel under trees. They twist and turn, eating almost anything in their way. These wiggling worms are really at work. Farmers plow their fields and loosen the soil. Crumbly soil lets the roots of plants spread out and grow. Worms also loosen the soil as they wiggle along. They're called nature's plows. As worms twist and turn, they push aside loose soil. This creates tunnels. Air flows along these tunnels. Rainwater trickles down and roots drink it up. Moist ground helps plants grow better. Look at this one. Whoa, it's really down in there in the ground. Worms tunnel in hard-packed soil by swallowing it. The soil goes in the worm's mouth, slides into the crop, then passes down to the gizzard. Worms do not have teeth. Mussels, fine grains of sand, and small stones in the gizzard grind the soil. Worms digest leaf and plant bits that are found in soil, just as you digest a salad. What's left passes through a worm's body and comes out its tail end in the form of pellets called castlings. Castings. These castings make good plant food. They help fruits and vegetables grow bigger and better. So sometimes worms crawl above ground. When they tunnel back down into the ground, they pull dead leaves and plants down with them. And that's really good for the soil too. These plants make the soil better as they rot. Seeds come down too. Some of these seeds send out roots. Seedlings sprout and worms help new plants begin to grow. See, there's the seedling. And there's some more worms underneath the ground. Worms can wiggle, twist, turn, even tie themselves in knots because they have no backbones. Their soft bodies are made up of rings and segments. These segments act like coils on a slinky toy. They let the worms bend. A worm has no legs, but 8 bristles under each segment act like little legs, like right here. I'll let you see those a little closer. Those are called bristles. And then the worm fastens its front bristles to the soil. The back end slinks up, making the worm short and fat. There's what likes to eat worms. All those birds out there. So the worm wiggles along, stretching and slinking with its wiggling, twisting, and turning. It's a wonder that worms know where they're headed. It has no eyes, no nose, no ears, and hardly any brain at all. But a worm knows what's happening nearby. It feels vibrations on the ground and senses a hungry robin. Quickly, the worm slips back into the burrow, right there, and gets away from its enemies. Worms also hide from the sun. They must live in damp soil, otherwise they're going to dry out. In the hot sun, their skins would dry, so they wiggle down into the dirt. There's more. There's their castings, I think. Sometimes worms crawl to the surface to find food. They select dead and decaying plants to drag back to their burrows. These plants contain bacteria that worms eat. Healthy plants do not. Worms pick leaves and pointed ends rather than round ones. No one knows why. Worms also eat fungi and mold. They slurp the hair-like strands of mold, the same way you might slurp strands of spaghetti. And that's why worms really like our compost that we made like yesterday when I made all the compost out of leaves and dirt and banana peels and things like that, that when it decomposes and it becomes really great dirt, they're going to love that. All right, so worms eat at the entrance of their burrows. Then each worm covers its leftover plants with its castings. This pile of worm castings is called a midden. It hides the top of the worm's burrow and acts like a door to keep out bad weather and air. skip a couple pages because I want to get to this last page. So these are babies. Babies are only about that big, but they grow in about 6 weeks' time. They grow really fast. When babies grow, they become adult worms, like that one laying in the ground. In winter, the soil near the surface freezes, and the worms plug up their tunnels and move down to warmer soil. They stay there until spring. Then they wiggle up, tunneling, twisting, and turning until they're right under your feet again. Vegetables and flowers grow so much better when worms are underground. They grow bigger, grass grows greener, because there are thousands of wiggling worms at work. Isn't that awesome? So I think you should go with me. We're going to go out to my garden and we're going to do a little digging, and we're going to see if we can find either a worm, or maybe we can find the presence of a worm that was there and maybe is not anymore. So let's go out. It's kind of cold today, but I think we can find them. So in order to get down deep into the soil, we're going to have to use a tool. Can anyone guess what kind of tool I would use to get down deep into the dirt? Well, if you guessed a shovel, you're right. So I'm going to use this shovel right here. Okay, and we're going to dig down. We're going to see. So far, let me show you what I'm doing. I have to turn it around like this. Okay, so far I don't see any. I don't know if you guys see any, but that's just the surface, and I really don't see any here because that's all stuff left from the winter. But let's see what we can do. We're gonna dig a little bit and we're gonna pull it up. Ooh, do you guys see that? There's like a little hole right. Oh, who was that? There was a hole there that I could tell was a worm. Let's see if we can find it. There was the hole. Whoa, it was there. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I have worms. It means that I'm gonna have a really healthy garden. Watch this. Yay! There's a worm. Hello, little worm. Have you been having fun in my garden? Okay, so if you want to do this in your gardens, all you have to do is do a little digging, and you might find this too. Look at that. And remember how we learned how they move? They pull their bodies for a little further from the front end, away from the back end, and they use those bristles. I think that's so amazing. Wow, there it is. All right, well, I'm gonna help my worm, and I'm gonna put him back in my garden so the worm can help my garden. So, bye-bye, little guy. We'll let you go back. All right, well, happy digging, you guys. Have a great day.